Hi, my name is Michael Ross of Grand Rapids Realty. I've been selling real estate since 1985. I'm a real estate broker, investor, member of the Grand Rapids Association of Realtors, and I literally, I've listed and sold about 2,000 houses. And questions that I get quite frequently are, how do you become a real estate investor? And what do you need? So most of the people that I know that are real estate investors, it's really simple. They just want to know how they make more money and when they double their money. And a lot of investors, cash on cash, there's the revenue, the income, and the expenses of any asset. So revenue, income, and expenses is what they look at. And if they can take the net of the revenue, the income, and expenses, the net figure, the only thing that's next is what kind of rate of return, what kind of internal rate of return do they want to receive. 10% is not a bad number, it's not. Now, there's tax advantages, there's appreciation, there's depreciation. Let's not talk about any of that because that's, let's not confuse the issue here. An investor, they want to know when they can double their money and how many years it takes. It's a really simple formula. And if you look at a 10% net return, right? We're going to go back to revenue, income, expenses, get to the net. And if you do the rule of 72, this video is really about that. If you take 72, just the number, and put it in your calculator, and if you divide that number of 10%, because that's the estimated, return of revenue that you want, net, and then you multiply that, compounded, it's like 7.2 years. And you can pull out your calculator and do that right now. It's really simple. So you take your calculator out and you put 72 and you divide it by 10 and you'll come out with 7.2. Now the tricky thing about this is, let's say that if you wanted an 18% rate of return, you do the same thing. You take 72 and then you divide that by 18 and what you come up with is 4. And what that is that revenue compounded over 4 years approximately is going to be an 18% return. It's a really easy mathematical, formula, and as many folks have told me in the past, it is hard to go broke when you're making money. Remember that. That's of interest to you. So, compound. Well, how many years do you have to hold that asset to take and double your money? And this is just for the investor to where you're just kind of putting your thumb out there at it. Because yeah, it's true, like there's people that I know that they pay just crazy money for accountants and then they want to, look at the appreciation of, what the market could be, but that's speculation. This video is for somebody that's conservative because all I'm concerned about simply is what the gross is, what the expenses are, what the net revenue is, and then take that net revenue and then multiply it by whatever the rate of return is, and we're picking, a 10% rate of return, and if you can compound it over 7.2 years, that means that you made 10% on your money. Now, and it does not, there's no appreciation, it doesn't, talk about the vacancy factors, doesn't talk about depreciation in your tax benefits, because that changes all the time. What I recommend strongly, and many investors that they just kind of hone in on this, is that they look at how to double their money. And isn't that what we want to do? We want to double our money. So there are other conditions to this, but that's the main gist of most investors. And it's a very simplistic way to really look at any investment, be it a business, be it a rental property, and then if you want to finely tune it and then ask specific questions regarding, what is the vacancy factor, what is the annual appreciation approximately on most rents, You know, there's all kinds of other information regarding this. But gosh dang it, if you can just get this one down, it'll just serve you well for the rest of your life. And that's this video. Thank you very much for listening and watching. I'm Michael Ross of Grand Rapids Realty. Thank you again.